The Democratic Republic of Congo is facing a crisis. The country is grappling with a long-standing conflict in its eastern region. 84 soldiers from the National Army have deserted. They joined the M23 rebel group, raising concerns about the army's stability. This has sent shockwaves through the region. The desertions amid escalating tensions weaken the army's position. The M23 rebellion has displaced hundreds of thousands and led to human rights abuses. The government, with international support, must address the root causes of the conflict. Failure to do so will lead to further instability and suffering. The mass desertion involved 84 soldiers from the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, or FARDC. These soldiers, stationed in the volatile North Kivu province, abandoned their posts. They then joined the forces of the M23 rebel group. This incident has sent ripples of concern throughout the region. It highlights the deep-seated issues plaguing the Congolese army. The soldiers involved in the desertion were stationed in an area known for its intense fighting between the FARDC and the M23 rebels. The North Kivu province has been a hotbed of conflict for years. It is characterized by a volatile mix of armed groups, ethnic tensions, and competition for resources. The soldiers' decision to defect to the M23 is a significant blow to the FARDC's morale and operational capacity in this critical region. The details surrounding the desertion itself are still emerging. However, it is clear that the soldiers acted in a coordinated manner, indicating a premeditated plan. This raises concerns about potential infiltration of the FARDC ranks by the M23 or the influence of external actors seeking to destabilize the region. The desertion of 84 soldiers has triggered swift legal action. The Congolese government immediately launched an investigation. They are determined to hold the deserters accountable for their actions. A military tribunal has been established in Goma, the capital of North Kivu province. The soldiers face charges of desertion and treason. These are serious offenses under Congolese military law. If found guilty, they could face severe punishments. This includes lengthy prison sentences or even the death penalty. The trial is expected to be closely watched. It serves as a litmus test of the government's commitment to upholding the rule of law, even in times of conflict. The prosecution is building its case. They are gathering evidence of the soldiers' actions and their communication with the M23 rebels. Witness testimonies from fellow soldiers and local residents who witnessed the desertion will be crucial. The prosecution aims to demonstrate that the soldiers' actions were premeditated and constituted a betrayal of their oath to protect the country. Section 4, the heart of the conflict, FARDC versus M23. The desertion of the 84 soldiers comes amidst a backdrop of long-standing conflict between the FARDC and the M23 rebel group. The M23, also known as the March 23rd Movement, emerged in 2012. It is composed primarily of former members of the National Congress for the Defense of the People, or CNDP, another rebel group that had integrated into the FARDC under a peace deal. The M23 rebellion was fueled by grievances over the implementation of the peace agreement. The rebels accused the Congolese government of failing to honor its commitments. This included integrating former rebels into the army, providing them with adequate pay and living conditions, and addressing the root causes of the conflict in eastern Congo. The M23 quickly gained notoriety for its military prowess, capturing several key towns in North Kivu. The rebels were accused of committing human rights abuses, including summary executions, rape, and the recruitment of child soldiers. Section 5. Why they fled. Uncovering the soldiers' reasons. The desertion of the 84 soldiers has raised critical questions about the factors that led to their decision. While investigations are ongoing, several potential reasons have emerged. These shed light on the complex and challenging conditions faced by soldiers serving in the FARDC. One prominent theory centers around the issue of morale. The FARDC has long grappled with low morale among its ranks. This is due in part to poor pay, inadequate living conditions, and a lack of essential equipment. Soldiers often go unpaid for months. They are forced to live in deplorable conditions with limited access to food, water, and medical care. These factors can significantly erode morale, making soldiers more susceptible to defection. Another factor that may have contributed to the desertions is the fear of fighting the M23. The M23 is a highly organized and well-equipped fighting force. They have inflicted heavy casualties on the FARDC in the past. Some soldiers may have felt ill-equipped and unprepared to face the rebels in battle. This could have fueled their decision to defect. Section 6. A weakened army, impact on FARDC's morale. The desertion of 84 soldiers is a significant blow to the FARDC's morale and fighting strength. It comes at a time when the army is already stretched thin. They are battling multiple armed groups in the eastern part of the country. The loss of these soldiers, particularly in North Kivu, will have immediate and long-term consequences. The desertions will likely embolden the M23 rebels. They will see it as a sign of weakness within the FARDC's ranks. This could lead to an escalation of violence as the rebels seek to exploit the situation. The FARDC may struggle to replace the deserted soldiers quickly. This could create security gaps, making it more difficult to protect civilians. The long-term impact on the FARDC's morale is equally concerning. The incident could trigger a domino effect. Other soldiers, demoralized by poor pay and living conditions, might follow suit. This could further erode the FARDC's fighting capacity and make it even more challenging to achieve stability in eastern Congo. Section 7. A cry for help. The plight of Congolese civilians. As the conflict between the FARDC and the M23 rages on, it is the civilian population of eastern Congo that bears the brunt of the suffering. The ongoing violence has resulted in a dire humanitarian crisis, marked by widespread displacement, human rights abuses, and a lack of access to basic necessities. Hundreds of thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes due to the fighting. They are seeking refuge in overcrowded displacement camps or in neighboring countries. These camps often lack adequate sanitation, healthcare, and access to clean water, making residents vulnerable to disease outbreaks. The conflict has also triggered a surge in human rights abuses. Both the FARDC and the M23 have been accused of committing atrocities against civilians, including extrajudicial killings, sexual violence, and forced recruitment. These abuses exacerbate the trauma experienced by civilians caught in the crossfire.